All right, this lesson will take us through some of the pronoun reference and agreement topics of the first grammar unit that we are working on. So remember, pronouns are those professional nouns that can replace other nouns. Pronoun references can be ambiguous, which is a fancy word for vague. They can be weak, which usually means they're kind of hinting at but don't directly refer to their antecedent, or they can be too general, which is another kind of vague form. Remember, there needs to be an exact correlation. The exact word that is getting replaced, the antecedent, must be within the sentence or the sentence before, or we have a pronoun problem. So I asked Mr. Smith for the answer, but he didn't know it. Here we have a pronoun I, and we have he, and we have it. This one is okay because this it is referring directly back to answer, so we are fine. Charlie is always thinking about cars. It is his only interest. In this case, though, what is it referring to? It doesn't go to cars, and it doesn't go to thinking. It is vaguely or generally referring to this idea of the whole idea of him thinking about cars. We understand, but it's very vague. It would be much better to say something like cars are his only interest. And this would be a great place for a semicolon to just show that close relationship. The partnership between Jones and Potter ended when he withdrew the firm's money and flew to Brazil. This is a very classic pronoun problem. Which he? Jones or Potter? We don't know. It's ambiguous. We can't tell. So it would be better to say the partnership between Jones and Potter ended when Potter withdrew the money, or when Jones. We need to rewrite the sentence so it's clear to whom we are referring. As soon as the students left the room, the janitors cleaned them. Did the students get cleaned, or did the room get cleaned? But we also have an agreement problem because this is singular, this is plural, this is plural. So even though we know the janitors are probably cleaning the room, we have multiple problems. It's unclear and we have an agreement issue. Quickly fix it, by changing this to rooms. That makes more sense and it's clear without a doubt. Sam noticed the principal smiling in an odd way as she entered the office. Who's entering? Sam or the principal? We don't know who the female entering the office is. Who is doing the entering? Again, it's ambiguous. We don't know. The boys wore ski boots to their classes, which the principal disapproved of. So did the principal disapprove of the classes? This is technically a dependent clause. Again, we're going to talk more about these later, but we've got a subject and a verb. We've got a subject and we've got a verb. What did the boys wear? They wore boots, direct object. Which the principal disapproved of. This is an adjective clause. This appears, based on its location, to be telling me about the classes. So apparently the principal disapproved of their classes. You guys know, looking at this, that the principal is disapproving of wearing the ski boots. But the sentence isn't written that way, and it's not directly referring to that. That which, this is your pronoun, needs to go back to something specific. And in this case, adjectives can't wander that far from the nouns that they are modifying, and it is close to classes. That's what we think it is telling us about. The trip to town was strenuous. The car broke down, a tire blew out, and Dad sat on a basket of eggs. This put us in a poor frame of mind to start the trip. Here's your pronoun. It's not horrible because we know that this refers to all of that happening. It is, however, a little general and a little unclear. It would be better to say something like these events, these catastrophes, these snafus, something more specific. and to avoid that general problem. We spent the day aboard a fishing boat, but we didn't catch a single one. This is so common. Here's your pronoun. We all know that this is referring to the word fish. We did not catch a single fish. Is the word fish in any of these sentences? It's not. It's nowhere. It's only alluded to. It is a vague reference. What else are you doing on a fishing boat? Well, getting a sunburn, becoming seasick. Lots of things can happen on a fishing boat. There's no antecedent fish for the word one. So that is a pronoun problem. These are the sorts of things that you look for in revision, not in drafting. Continuing with the examples, the people want honest public servants, but that has not always been a virtue of politicians. What is the word "that" referring to? It is referring to honesty. But again, like the fishing example, honesty doesn't exist in the sentence before it. It's alluded to, but it isn't directly stated. And that's what you have to be careful for in pronouns. One more. Lois wrote whenever she could find, or Lois wrote whenever she could find the time, but none of it was ever published. In the final chapter, it implies, two examples, sorry. None of it. Two pronouns. None of what? Well, obviously her writings, or her essays, or her novels, or her poetry, but that is only vaguely alluded to. So again, that is a vague or ambiguous pronoun reference. And the final example. In the final chapter, it implies that the hero died a martyr's death. This is something you want to avoid in your writing. Who or what is it? The chapter implies? A chapter itself can't imply anything. So this is putting this in the article, it says. Well, an article can't say something. We should just directly say the article suggests, the article proposes, the final chapter suggests the hero died a martyr's death. The final chapter even implies the hero died a martyr's death. The final chapter reveals. Okay, we want to be direct with our language. A chapter can't imply, an article can't say, a story can't say. So avoid using that in the story, it says, in the story, it suggests. Just be direct with that language. We're going to talk more about the agreement of pronouns in the next topic. And I will cover that in the next video.